Hello and happy equinox to you all. Today, or yesterday, depending on where you are, marks the reset of the zodiac. We emerge from the oceanic depths of Pisces, a time of dissolution, and step into the rebirth point of Aries, like a newborn moving headfirst into the world. Equinox translates to equal day and night. In the northern hemisphere, spring begins. In the southern hemisphere, autumn. Either way, it's a moment to reflect on the changing world around us and the shifts within our own inner landscapes. 2 years ago, I launched a project on this podcast, A Journey Through the Zodiac, exploring the myths of the constellations and the gods associated with each sign. It was quite the adventure. Opening up all that mythic material was a revelation for me, and I hope if you were along for the ride, you uncovered layers within the circle of animals as well. Now, as the astrological year begins again, I'm excited to introduce a new project for the next 12 months, a tour of the astrological houses. I briefly considered calling it Cribs, but decided against it, just a little too cheesy. While the planets are the characters in the play and the signs describe how these characters show up, the houses tell us where the action takes place. Think of them as temples, habitats, dwellings, homes for the gods to play out their cosmic dramas. And naturally, each god had their preferred domain. Hades and Persephone thrived in the underworld. Hestia stayed close to the hearth. Hermes roamed the crossroads. Poseidon commanded the ocean. Athena ruled the capital. Artemis dwelled in the wild. Aphrodite flourished in the pleasure garden. Ares thrived on the battlefield. The houses of astrology work in the same way. In the ancient world, astrologers recognized that certain planets rejoiced in particular houses, a concept Hellenistic astrology codified as the joys. Mercury loved the first house, where every moment had the promise of a new beginning. The moon found her joy in the third, where local connections were formed. Venus flourished in the fifth, where pleasure, art, and play unfolded. Mars thrived in the sixth, where diligence and discipline were essential. The sun enjoyed the ninth, where adventure and wisdom called. Jupiter expanded in the 11th, where hopes, dreams, and communities grew. And Saturn found solitude in the 12th, the house of retreat and deep inner work. This year we'll seek out these gods in their respective houses, taking inspiration from them as we shape and decorate our own inner habitats. The houses are anchored by 4 cardinal points, the grand cross that serves as the parachute for the soul as it drops into the earth plane. The ascendant is the first house to the east, and it is the I Am. This marks the cusp of the first house, the persona, the root of personality. It's how we present ourselves, our self-image, the face we show the world. The descendant, the 7th house to the west, is the I Am Not. It's the mirror of the ascendant. It governs relationships, partnerships, and the mythical other. It's where we encounter shadow projections, what we reject in ourselves. The midheaven, or the MC, is the 10th house, or the apex of the sky, and it's what we look up to. It's our vocation, career, public image, and legacy. It's the highest point of aspiration, what we strive to become. And opposite this is the IC, or the Iman Coeli. It's the cusp of the 4th house, and it's the depths below, where we dig deep. It's our home, our family, our ancestors, and our private self, the part of us that is hidden from public view, or perhaps even hidden from ourselves. Between these 4 pillars, the remaining houses govern different aspects of life: money and resources, communication and learning, love and creativity, health and daily rituals, death, inheritance, and other people's money, adventure and higher learning, friendships and communities, seclusion and deep dreams. As you can hear, we're in for quite the ride, exploring the many rooms of the soul's dwelling place. There are many house systems in astrology. Whole sign is the most popular today, equal sign is how I first learnt, and Placidus is my personal go-to. That said, my intention isn't to get stuck in technicalities. Instead, we'll move with the spirit of each house, guided by imagination. Some houses might need a spring cleaning, others a renovation, maybe a sledgehammer to a badly placed wall. Some might just need a fresh coat of paint or a golden touch. Who knows? If we stay open to the process, we'll find out as we go. So, I'll be back in a couple of weeks with our first stop, the first house, headlined by the mighty Ascendant, where all things begin, where Hermes and Mercury rejoices, where the call to adventure beckons us forward. I look forward to seeing you then. Oh, and one last thing. If you'd like to get a copy of your chart, I'll leave a link in the show notes to astro.com. You can click that link, put in your birth details, and you'll find your houses that way.